How you doing today, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel. And in this video I'm gonna show you, on my last video we go ahead and install that chain. I show you how to install the chain. On another video, you can find it, I show you how to install the cassette on the, this is my Schwinn Axum budget upgrade. And in this video I'm gonna show you how to install the shifter, and if we need to set it up and modify it, calibrate it, I'm gonna show you how to do that as well. So give me a second, let me get the things that I need, and I will get you guys to know how to do this on your own. You don't have to pay anybody to do this type of upgrades, especially if you have tools that you can work with. And you don't even need that many tools. All you're gonna need is an Allen head screwdriver. And that's it, Allen head, and I think it's a 4 or 5 millimeter, something like that. So let's get started. Again, welcome back to my channel, MTB Alex. So let's do this. Alright, so the first thing that, of course, we need a shifter in order to install a shifter, and I got my box 2 shifter. I have a video on when I got all these parts for my Axum build. I'm gonna link it right there so that you can see it. And I paid like 25 bucks or something like that. Check out that other video to tell you exactly how much I paid for this and where I got it from and everything. So if you haven't watched that video, make sure you watch that video, and that's gonna show you exactly where I got all my parts from. So all you gotta do first of all is unwind it. Make sure you unwind your cord right here. And on that other video, I took off my handle right here. So this is my brake lever, and actually my shifter is gonna go before we put in those brakes. Now I have another video coming up, and I haven't done it yet. I haven't installed my hydraulic brakes, but this is how it goes. So basically you put in the shifter first, and I'm not gonna tighten or anything up right now, because I'm just gonna mock it. But the shifter goes before the brakes, and the setup ends up like this. So of course adjust it as you need it, and I'm gonna adjust that to be comfortable for me once I'm done installing all this. Now whenever I remove this, I showed you that we had to the slips for the cables. Now the slip for the front one is this one right here, and it goes connected from here to the shifter. Now you might want to cut it just to, it gives you enough clearance for it to not be rubbing up against your paint. So first I'm just gonna install it like that. So it's really simple. You're gonna take the end of the cable and put it inside it, and it should not get stuck on anything, and you can see it's already coming out. So just pull it all the way in, and this has to get stuck inside this thing right here. This is what for the micro adjustments. This end has to be inside that thing, that boot right there, and that's gonna be for the micro adjustments, just in case we need to do any. And the other side is just gonna end up right in here. Now it had a little bit of a guide rubber thing, and I'm gonna put this inside it because that's just gonna prevent the wire to rub up against the top of the frame right here. So I'm gonna run this all the way somewhere in the middle, and now this is another boot right here, another sleeve that goes from the seat post, from the front to the seat post all the way to the back of the fork, the back fork, or however you call it. Now see, this is what this is for, so it will not be rubbing up against that. And then you're gonna run this, keep on running to the last one right here on the back. Now the back one, I put this one in off camera, but the back one is very important. So again, you can just pull it in, push it in, comes out like that. And I just noticed that I am missing a piece right here. another, there it is. So this is the cover that goes on the other side. So right here, just put it in there. So again, just slide it in. It comes out of the other side. Now, one side goes inside right here, and the other side, again, this is a box shifter. It's very similar to many different shifters, but in the case of the box one, I'm gonna put this right here. Let's see, right there, you can see. So there's not an opening on the bottom, so I have to slide the cable in first, and then this boot comes in. Now this is gonna be under pressure in a little bit once we tighten everything up, so we want to have it like that. Now the next step, this is extra long, so that's perfect because we might need to cut it in a little bit. I'm gonna take my, what it seems to be a 4mm Allen head, and this is gonna lock this right here, and it's gonna allow us to make the shiftings. Now for this, you wanna be on the first cog, on your highest speed. So make sure that you are on your highest speed, so the smallest of the cogs, because that's where we're gonna be making all the adjustments on. You have to be on your smallest cog. If it is not, because it was loose right now, you have to put it in there on the smallest one. Alright, so I am now in my smallest one. You have a little bit of chain flap, we'll see about that. And then you can put this cable inside it, pull it as hard as you can, make sure the little boot is inside the shifter on the front as well. You don't want to have it loose right there, because if it's loose, it's not gonna work. You're gonna be doing adjustments for free and for nothing, and you're gonna have to repeat this process again. So again, tighten up right there, and we are now set and ready to start making adjustments. First, we're gonna start shifting to see how it shifts. If it shifts good up and down, hopefully we don't need to make any adjustments. So let's see what we're dealing with. I'm gonna put my chain right here. Make sure on my shifter, you gotta be on the highest gear. So make sure you're shifted all the way down to the smallest cog before you actually start doing anything. If you are, then we can start making adjustments. So right now, I immediately saw that it went to the second cog. So I gotta start playing with my adjustment now. Let me see, if I shift one up, it's not doing anything, it needs more tension. It went up, but I'm not where I need to be. So this is gonna need to be dialed in. I can already tell. Now I was hoping for this to not be like that. Unfortunately, it is. I hope I don't have a lot of trouble fixing this up. Okay, so it did go up to my highest cog, but it went down a little bit, so I gotta play with the micro adjustments because it's gotta stay up. Now, one thing that you wanna know, make sure, is that whenever you are on the highest cog, and you can press the derailleur right here. Press it in, and whenever you're in the highest cog, like I am right now, make sure this thing doesn't go beyond that. And in this case, I can see that if I push the lever a little more, it can go beyond that, and the chain is gonna go behind the cassette, and it's gonna make a lot of damage. So this is when adjustment comes into play. So I'm gonna bring it right back to my smallest cog and start playing with this thing. Okay. My shifter is at my lowest cog, and I can see right here that it's not on my lowest cog. Now this video might get a little longer, but this is completely necessary before we can do anything. Now, I think this is gonna be the 3mm bolt again. So we have two things right here. One of them is gonna be the adjustment for the lower gear, which is the bigger cog, and one of them is gonna be the adjustment for the higher gear, which is the smallest cog. So this one is pushed out a little bit already. So if I move this, it makes no difference. So it must be this one. This one must be for my, and you can start seeing this. You can start seeing this moving, the derailleur. So this is what we want. So let me see what direction that thing is moving. So if I move this out, so it's all the way in, I move this out, it starts coming in towards me, and that's what I want. So this must be the adjustment for the high gear or the smallest cassette. So if I just undo it a little bit at a time, and it went down to the first gear where I need it to be. So once I'm here, I'm gonna loosen this up again and pull it. I'm gonna loosen that up again and pull it as far as I can with my own hands, okay? You wanna do this with your hands, maybe some pliers, something that give you a lot of leverage so we can have this as tight as we can, and then tighten it up. Because we're on the first gear, that's exactly where we want to be. Now, I have this in place, so I'm gonna start shifting up again. It went to the second, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So it is shifting very smoothly. Now, look at my, can you guys see my hand? I'm gonna keep this pressed in and see what happens to my derailleur. Is my derailleur going even farther back or not? So I'm gonna press this in while I pedal, and if right there is not going beyond the largest cog, we are set. We're good to go. So now I'm gonna change all the way down. It went down 1, 2, so it's on the third. A little bit of trouble right there. A little bit of trouble right there. But it's going down. Now in order to avoid that trouble right there, we gotta play with the micro adjustment, and that's gonna be right here on the front. So on the front, you have this little lever right here, and if you push it in, it's gonna make the cable, the wire, a little loose, and if you push it out, it's gonna expand it a little more. So this is gonna be a brand new cable, and I'm expecting it to have to readjust it after a couple of runs. So I just went inside a little bit, and let me see what happens right now. So I'm gonna make sure I can still shift up properly. So I'm on the lower cog. Now, another thing you gotta consider, this again was for the high gear, the lowest cog. You gotta make sure it doesn't go inside the frame rail and the cog, because if it does, it's gonna get stuck in there and you can potentially damage your derailleur hanger. Now, again, shift up, and if you can see that struggle right there, you can play with the micro adjustment right there. But I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I just wanna see it had trouble, it's not moving forward. So if I extend this a little bit, you can hear it that it wants to go up a little bit, because it's supposed to be on the next chain ring right now. Let me see something. Uh-oh, that's what you don't want. You don't want, you gotta play with the... tensioned it too much, so I'm removing all the tension whatsoever. All right, so it's almost all the way in, so I'm gonna go down again. Shift down, shifting down, shifting down. Very good. And it's stopping right there. Can't go any further. Let's go up. Went too many at the same time. And he doesn't seem to like that. Now, whenever you're on the largest cog, again, play, keep it pressed, make sure it doesn't go beyond that. And it seems like I am not moving any further. But if you think you are, you're gonna play with this back one. Again, this is a 3mm, sorry. With this back one, and press it in a little bit. And what this is gonna do is prevent this from going any further. And that's it. Now this is probably the hardest thing to do on your bicycle. Getting these things good to go. But now it is. Now you can cut this chain, which I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm gonna leave it a little longer than usual, just in case I need to readjust, but not too long. And I still have a little bit of a slack over here, because like I said, I wanted to remove this slack over here because I don't want it to be hitting my thing, so I'll be fine. So I'm just gonna leave it right here, and I'm gonna get a crimper, and I bought this for like $3 on Amazon for I don't even know, it was probably a little more than $3, but it came in like 300 of them, and you can get them in different colors. Now at that time I did not know that I was gonna do a orange theme. Just crimp it as hard as you can, but don't break it. Now this thing is dialed in, is ready to go. Now I'm so excited. I really can't wait. I thought I was gonna have to play a little more with the getting my derailleur set up, but it was pretty easy. Like I said, you have 3 screws. In this case, this one was for the smallest cog, the higher gear. This one is for the lower gear, the highest cog. So you gotta play with those. Make sure you go in. So make sure this one doesn't go too far out, and you should be good to go. And this one is just the B position. For this one, let me show you one more thing. Let me show you one more thing. There is a special tool that can tell you exactly how much gap you are supposed to have between this little thing. I don't know what this is called. The star right here. And the largest cog, and I think it's like 6mm, and there's a special tool for that which I do not have, but the way you adjust that is with this screw, the limit screw. That's what's gonna help it either move up or down. And it seems like when I shifted a few of them at the same time, I had a little bit of a trouble. So all you do is go like that a little bit, and you should be good to go. It moved this out a little bit, so let's see if this made any changes on the shifting. I just make sure that the most important thing is for the chain to not go over to the spokes, because if it does, you're gonna break your derailleur. Ask me how I know. Oh my God, I learned the hard way. So I thought I had it adjusted perfectly, but again, this thing stretches up, because again, it's a mechanical thing. It's gonna fail eventually. What it's gonna do is tensioning, and it's gonna stretch up a little bit. So I guess whenever I was on the field, it stretched up a little more, so it pulled a little harder than it was supposed to. And on my way back, it went over, broke my derailleur. Hopefully, I mean not the derailleur, the hanger. The derailleur was fine, and that's how I know. Okay, so that's the most important thing. This thing is shifting like a champ. Now let me show you something. I should have done this before and after. But let me show you how much this thing is not bouncing. there's no chain flap, guys. I can't get over this. This is just too good. Let me shift all the way down. That's fine, a little more. Again, let's see the chain flap. Almost none, guys. This is so unreal. I can't get to the trail with this new derailleur. I think this is just gonna make me so happy when I'm on the trails. So just by looking at this, I highly recommend you doing this. Again, derailleur, shifter, where are we? Shifter, derailleur, and chain. I paid like $110 altogether. Again, this is a budget build right here. I'm doing it on my garage. It's hot right now. It's humid, but I'm still doing this for you guys. So again, if you like to see more videos like this, make sure you give it the thumbs up button. Make sure you like, you subscribe. And thank you for doing this with me today, guys. I hope that you guys learn how to do this. Again, yes, you can do this by yourselves, guys. This is amazing. You guys can do this by yourselves. If you're not a professional, you don't have to be a professional. I just show you how to do it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I usually respond them. Like I said, this is not my full-time job. I have another job. Make sure you check the other videos on how I changed the chain and how I installed the cassette, because that's, if I make one video for everything, it was gonna take too long. So I split them up. But again, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for building this with me today, guys. And I see you on the trails. Have a great day. Bye-bye.